Oh, I'm surprised we ever got married because she hated my guts. But
Oh, really?
she always, I was always attracted to her, and we never spoke in high school. And one day I was walking down the hall and I saw her bending over her locker getting some stuff out of it.
That was instant love, huh?
It was instant hate.
Oh my.
Because the first thing I did is I walked while she was bent over. I walked up and I just gave her a hip and pushed her in her locker.
Oh no. Well, that wasn't exactly the best way of meeting.
Well, I'll tell you, she never forgot me.
So what happened? How did you eventually become a couple?
Well, it took a while, but she and her closest girlfriend lived right next door to each other, and they lived probably from the high school approximately 3 miles from school. And her dad never had a car, never drove a car, no way except walk back and forth. So finally, I knew I couldn't get any place with my wife. Well, I talked to her friend. I said, Dorothy, why don't you come out the south door to school and I'll be parked out there and I'll drive you and Audrey home. Well, they come out and Dorothy got in. They got in the back door. I had a 4-door.
Okay.
And Audrey wasn't going to.
She wasn't going to come in the car.
She didn't want nothing to do with me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, finally, you know, I told her, I said, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I said, the least I can do is drive you home. I said, come on and get in. Instead of getting in the front seat with me, she got in the back seat with her friend.
Okay.
So I drove them home, let them out, said goodbye. And the next day I told her friend, her name was Dorothy Harper. I said, Dorothy, it won't do any good to say anything to Audrey, but I said, I'll be out there at the side door again if you want to ride home, because I didn't live too far from where they lived, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were both out there, and they both got in the back seat.
Once again.
Once again. Oh, we'd talk back and forth, you know. And I'd never say a word to her about what happened with the first time I was there. And the next thing you know, it wasn't but 2 or 3 weeks that Dorothy would get in the back seat and Audrey would get in the front seat with me.
Ah, she started getting in the front seat.
Uh-huh.
Now, how did you now, I know that there was some story you told me about how you got along real well with her mother, Grandma Marie.
Oh, the first time I ever went to Audrey's house to take her out, we were going to go to a movie. We got to the dating point. You know, we only went together 8 or 10 years before we got married.
Oh, really? Only 8 or 10, huh?
Yeah. But I went to her door and her mother answered the door and invited me in. And the first thing she did, she took my hand and walked me right straight out to the kitchen and fixed me a sandwich and an apple.
Wow. So you got along real well with Grandma Marie.
Oh, Grandma Marie and I, it was love at first sight.
It's so nice to hear.